dot 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 dot. This is part of a series of videos about understanding white balance on old cameras to create recipes for film look JPEGs straight out of the camera. This time, we'll try to understand Nikon white balance to make film look recipes. Hopefully, after you understand this, you can transfer any Fujifilm film look recipes from the internet to your Nikon cameras, with some limitations, of course, since Fujifilm and Nikon have different color rendering. Dot 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 dot. To start, Nikon have many standard white balance options, like every camera brand: auto white balance, incandescence, fluorescence, direct sunlight, flash, cloudy, shade, and preset manual. But what we really want to understand is how to customize white balance within those options, which Nikon calls white balance fine-tuning. On Fujifilm cameras, they call it white balance shift. On Nikon cameras, you'll see a grid for fine-tuning your white balance, hence the name white balance fine-tuning. It has an X and Y axis representing the temperature and tint adjustments. The X-axis, point A to B, adjusts the overall image temperature. A stands for amber or orange, and B stands for blue. The Y-axis, point G to M, adjusts the overall image tint. G stands for green and M stands for magenta. The center point is your standard white balance. From there, you can warm up your image by moving the point right towards A, or cool it down by moving the point left towards B. Once you've set your desired temperature, you can also adjust the tint. Add a green cast by moving the point up towards G, or add a magenta cast by moving it down towards M. Now, if you are looking at Fujifilm film look recipes, like those on Fuji Weekly, you might wonder how these white balance shifts translate to Nikon cameras. Here is the comparison. Nikon uses A, amber, and B, blue, for temperature, while Fujifilm uses B minus, or blue minus, and B plus, or blue plus. For tint, Nikon uses G, or green, and M, magenta, while Fujifilm uses R minus, red minus, and R plus, red plus. Here is an example. If Fujifilm's white balance shift says +3 red, which means magenta, that translates to M3, or 3 steps down from center on Nikon. If Fujifilm says -2 blue, or -2B, that translates to A2, or 2 steps right on Nikon. So the final adjustment on Nikon will be 3 steps down and 2 steps right, as shown on screen. You might want to take a screenshot for reference. I have a video on my channel about film look settings for Nikon cameras, especially Nikon 1V1, if you are curious how these white balance fine-tuning adjustments work in practice. Hope that helps. See you in the next video. Au revoir.